seal this in the pan. So get a nice hot pan on the stove, and you want to colour this meat. The colouring of it is the crucial part at the beginning, because that's what's going to colour our stew at the end of it, particularly this one. Now to thicken it, we're going to use a touch of flour. Just a tiny bit of flour on each bit of meat is all you need. We're just going to seal it all around. Good glug of red wine. So once your red wine's in, you pour in the stock, and you want to basically 3/4 cover the piece of meat. So once that's in, we can turn our attention to the onions. Now you want the onions to stay together while they're cooking, so we're just going to throw the whole onions in. Well, not throw them in, place them in. And then the addition of some fresh thyme. Now you can either cook this on the stove, just bring it to a gentle simmer with a lid on, or you can pop it in the oven, which is what I'm going to do. Now you need to cook this for about an hour, and then take the onions out and continue cooking it with a lid on for about another hour, hour and a half, until the beef is nice and tender. So that's going in there. Now I've got some that have been cooking away nicely, just to show you exactly what I mean. This is the nice little bit of beef. As it's been cooking, you can see that's reduced down. Look at that lovely sauce over the top as well. And then the onions themselves are in here. Now these are the ones that have been cooled. You can see they're nice and soft. But I'm going to cook these quite simply just to warm them up. But the garnish with this, I'm going to do kind of like a variant on a classic champ, really. Champ is mashed potato, spring onions, but I'm going to add some cabbage and cream. Do is basically just soften the cabbage down. Just a little bit of butter is all you need. It wants to be in there for no more than about a couple of minutes. But of course our champ, I'm going to just enrich this with a bit of cream. Now once your cabbage is done, we can throw that in, put the pan back on the heat to finish off our onions. And keep the cabbage nice and green by frying it. It'll boil it, keep the colour and keep the taste in there. So we'll just leave that on there to keep warm. What you do with the onions is once they're cooked, we just cut them straight in half. This is why keeping that root on is really quite essential. Hot pan on the stove, a little bit of oil. We pop the onions in, the cut side down. And what we want to do with these is to char them around the edge. This way you'll get a really nice flavour to it. So while the onions are cooking away nicely, the champ's done, the beef is almost finished, I'm going to do a little parsley oil with this. And to make parsley oil, it's quite simple. Well, in fact, really simple. It's parsley and oil. In your blender. 2 minutes, done. How easy it is to make this lovely herb oil, and now the colour of it is fabulous. That's perfect for what we need. So I'll just finish off the beef now. It's a good idea to season this at the end really of the cooking. The meat, just I press it, it just starts to fall apart. So the onions are still cooking away nicely. We can then turn the heat off now. That's what we're after. You see that blackened bit? That caramelisation that we get from our onions. It's not burnt, it's caramelised. Lovely. And then to simply plate this, we can take a dollop of our nice warm seasoned champ. I can lift out these onions, just allow these to cool slightly. And then you've got a massive nugget of beef. Beautiful piece of beef. We put a little bit of sauce over the top. We've got some of our simple parsley oil, which gives a really great flavour with this. Just drizzle it on. And then these onions. What you do is you grab yourself a spoon. What you'll end up with is little petals of onion. We just put a few of these around the edge. So there you have it, braised shinner beef with champ and whole braised onions. Cheers.